How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lo4f, and today I'm going to go and do a contract called Consumables for the Ferry. It's in the second set of contracts. It was at the top for me, but I think there's like 4 different contracts that are available. But yeah, it's to get this ferry unlocked, which it kind of says on the map there's a gateway travelling over. There is another way around with the shallows. I started the footage here quickly. With this truck, the Kenworth 963, you can have like the crane, a 3-slot sideboard, and still have the ramped flatbed or the trailers, which is nice because often when they add a 3-slot something, it kind of blocks the trailers. Yeah, that's the ferry. So it says gateway. It's only that little gap it's travelling over. I'm obviously going to go over the shallows, and for this mission, it's pretty simple, to be honest. Just got to nip up here. There's the gateway, but just get here to the farm, grab 2 lots of consumables, and then basically double back on myself, back over here, drop them off there, and then yeah, you unlock this ferry, which, again, I personally think they're kind of testing it as a, not a gimmick, but you know, it's pretty inconsequential because we can just drive round. But if the idea works or whatever, then yeah, I think they might probably implement it a little bit more seriously into the game. There's maps. I remember for a while I've kind of, not necessarily the idea thinking that they would do it as like you just travel through a gateway, but yeah, I remember thinking for years, I think various people have mentioned it in comments as well. Just if you're able to get on a boat basically and drive a boat around. Obviously some modders have even made like the big landing craft and that to put vehicles on and drive them around. There's a map, was it Drummond Island? That one had like a big port on it. That'd be quite a good one if you could sort of pull up on a boat. Again, it probably makes a lot more sense to do it the way they've done it, as a gateway and an animation. I was more hoping, yeah, all out, like get a boat that you can go and drive around a lake or something would be pretty cool. But even as, yeah, like a map, if they did like a river, you know, completely across the map, so you'd have to travel across, it might get a little bit, I suppose, feel a bit fenced in that way. But yeah, there's options. And in the end, I decided to take this Kenworth 963 out because I did the gameplay and review on it, and I've not really done a mission so far. I've driven it around, obviously drove it around quite a lot to do the gameplay and review. I've drove it around this map for the night I got it. I went for a little zip around and drove up some mountains and stuff. Tonight I had a little drive around as well. And yeah, I'm still, just to be clear on this, I don't think it's like an amazing truck. It doesn't need more power than that, but there is something about it I do quite like. But yeah, it's a bit like, say, that 566A they added in the last phase, phase 9. It's a pretty inconsequential truck to me as well. Like, out of all the little kind of 4-wheeled 2-axle trucks like that, it actually feels like a very stable one for the speed and all the rest of it. Like that TUZ Action or whatever the hell it's called gets a bit mad at the high-end speed and all the rest of it. The 566A feels pretty planted, but in the scheme of things, it's a pretty, not to be harsh to it, but like useless truck. It's not something that'll be like, yep, that's definitely the one to take. Obviously there's little missions here and there, you might go for a scouting mission and that, but in the scheme of things, it's not the most useful truck. I'd say really the 605R's probably still got to rank #1 as the most useful vehicle they've given us. It's easily like got to be top 3 best vehicles in the game really, and at that point it's sort of subjective. You could definitely make the argument it's the top one. There's a couple of contenders. I personally like the Dolphin. Also, I'd say the Tayger's the original Tayger is a pretty good contender for that top spot as well. But yeah, this truck, I mean, I like the noise of it. I think what I like about it is I just prefer it over the P12 already. So to me, that's a gain because we've had the P12 for a while, and I don't hate the P12. It's often my main crane vehicle in a lot of yards just because it works out nicely that way. Yeah, but I've always wanted like an improved version of it, and this, just even aesthetics wise, and I like the fatter tyres. But yeah, driving it around, this thing, I'm not going to be taking it out loads. Like, it is a little bit of a, it's just as well, the fact that it's like a big massive truck, they're just quite fun to drive around in this game. I don't really know, I like the P16, that still quite comfortably sits in like my top 10 vehicles or whatever. Yeah, I certainly, like, if I graded a list of what I thought were the best vehicles, I don't think I don't know if it'd make the top 10 in like objectively the best vehicles. This certainly wouldn't. It's a bit of an odd one as well, particularly for this map. I'd say a smaller, more nimble vehicle suits this map, and this thing's got quite a long sort of wheelbase between the first and second axle, so it does beach itself fairly often. Like, I think that'd become a bit of a recurring theme on this map, because I've put quite a lot of rocks everywhere as well. Yeah, move me loaf out of the way. I just obviously take a loaf for me. It's a goddamn horse. I could kind of tell it wasn't going to fit. That's what she said. Yeah, this time I decided to spring me loaf off, so I brought a crane with me though. Yeah, like I say, grabbed 2 lots of consumables and double back myself, so pretty simple. Yeah, again, like, just a good engine noise. I hope they focus on that a little bit more, and yeah, just have, like, I'd say a lot of the original vehicles, they all, I know they're technically different noises, but you know what I mean, they sort of all roughly blend in. This one does actually sound pretty unique. I wasn't really looking at this at the minute because it's a new map. The lack of time I spend looking where I'm going versus like looking off into the distance, like, oh, that looks cool, that building kind of with a river flowing around it. And again, I have to say, they do make some bloody good looking maps on this game. Like, as far, even thinking of just other games, I don't know, Elder Scrolls, all that. I've not been on Skyrim, the last one I think I played was Oblivion. I don't know, even Grand Theft Auto 5 and all sorts, like, they've obviously, there's some pretty decent maps, but yeah, this one, aesthetically, just looks-wise to be driving around, is, I think they've done a pretty good job of this one. To be fair, they actually do on, like, the only map I can think of that I'd probably say was a bit of an ugly map was that old factory grounds, that Antonovsky Summit Nature Reserve. The other map was not bad. There's not many maps, if any, really, on this game. Like I said, maybe, yeah, the old factory grounds was like the scrapyard, and it was felt a little bit knocked together and a bit rushed, like they were pushed for time, which I'm not excusing. It's like, yeah, use them profits, hire more people. But yeah, to be fair, like, even going back to the original Michigan maps, I mean, doing the gameplay and review on this, it's nice to just go back to the original maps. And this thing drove fairly nicely on those maps. One thing I do like as well, that fuel station there, it's a little thing, but they've just extended that yellow box so it near enough touches the road, when they could have easily just made it a little square around the pumps that you have to, like, veer off the road, and there's sort of no way around it. But yeah, it's nice that you can just kind of clip it, do drive-by refueling. And then yeah, back to these like boat ramps. So I know this is complete random, but there's a bowl of water near me that's for my cat. And when I just started to record the beginning of this video 10-15 minutes ago, there's something that keeps tapping the bowl. It's like a ceramic bowl or whatever. It sounds like a fingernail tapping it. And just so I'm not going crazy, I'll just add the little bit of clip. You can, just before I say whatever, how's it going guys, it's Mr. Lo4f, you'll hear a little tap. How's it going guys, it's Mr. Lo4f. See, and then I stopped talking, so I was like, what the hell? I've done it about 10 times, I don't know what the hell it is. I'm not saying it's anything weird, random, whatever's going on. I don't know. There is a bowl of water on the floor about 3 foot away from me, nothing particularly near it, and it keeps tapping. But anyway, yeah, it's random. I actually got it on the audio, so I was like, right, I'm putting it in the clip. Yeah, I was going to say, with this driving along here, I do like cutting across this little shallow part. I actually think it's about the right level of, like, let's say difficulty without being a complete troll. There is actually like a pathway through there that's not a complete nightmare or forces you to tip violently like I nearly did there because I hit that rock. Again though, if you're not paying attention, you can crash, like, even nipping over there. Yeah, so unlocking this ferry is a little bit of a just for the sake of it. I just wanted to see if that car was movable. That wasn't blindness or sheer ignorance. And then yeah, like I say, it's a little pretty short sweet mission, this one. Obviously I ended up messing around for, I don't know, the next 8 odd minutes of the clip. Yeah, dropped this off, 2 consumables, forgot to unpack my loaf, but it didn't matter, it didn't freak out or anything. That's actually pretty decent as well. I think it's over 6.5 grand for a mission that it took me like what 10 minutes in this truck. So, and I was messing around like if I speed ran this with the Taker, you're talking like 5 minutes or something. But yeah, now that ferry in the background, I've unlocked it. That yellow square is now a gateway. So you essentially treat it like a normal gateway. Thankfully, there's no loading like. You click it and then it's going to charge us $750 each time, which will be fine. I think I've still got about 49 million, so I'll survive. Yeah, and then that's it. You just see you get a little animation like that, and now I'm back on the other side of the this little dock area going on. I'm thinking though, when it's just loaded me now, if I had like an 8-slot trailer on the back, I wonder if that would be sticking basically out the back, but there is no rails there, so you probably could try and like bump it up the lip. That's what she said. Like touch the box. That's what she said as well. I was backing. I don't know why, for no apparent reason. I was like, I wonder if I like reverse off the edge and then hit the travel button just before I drown, if it'll let me travel. And then yeah, thankfully I actually beached, I suppose, and then seesawed. I was just about to do the same with the dolphin. At the last second, I was like, I know what I'll do, and floored it forwards, and just so happened to like 1 more inch back. Well, Loaf got himself a boat, and he. So, usually, magic of the Loaf, probably shouldn't reveal his secrets, but I was like, sod it, I'm getting on this boat. Got me a dolphin, a new crane. I need to check it out. I was like, well, so far so good, we're not drowning. Obviously, little Loaf on the pole, sending him in. So, dolphin started drowning, that was my bad there. I shouldn't have left it in high gear, so I was like, sod it, floor it. Yes, no, speak to me, Loaf. Got a fish swimming by us. It's all good. He's fine. He's been trained in scuba, Loaf. Yep. So boat inspection complete. Now we can safely climb on board. So, went for it again. This time I turned the crane backwards because I figured I think you can just get a better angle. Over the front, I'm also wasting like a dolphin's worth of crane length, really, just trying to reach over my own cap. Yeah. So lift the Loaf up a little bit more. Try reversing. I think it's a combination when you drop off the boat ramp. There's obviously like rocks or something under it, it's like tipping. Like no, so close the Loaf is touching the boat. But sad Titanic music. Dolphin. Can he take it, Captain? It's down. So, I was like, right, what I need, because the dolphin was tipping back, I need a weight distribution Loaf. But you see, the crane won't let you get the Loaf near enough to the roof, so it's like, had to be pretty precise, drop the Loaf. Sun visor for the win. So again, by the narrowest of margins, we made it. Yeah, like I said, the crane won't lift high enough. Long story short, I travelled to another map and back here to make the weather reset because it was looking pretty dark. I didn't realise though, and this is a fairly new thing, the crane resets when you travel. Obviously, Loaf, I mean, just said it before, he's not keen on them prostate exams. No means no. Yeah, so it kind of reset the crane, and like I said, me Loaf, well, let's be honest, he panicked. Looks a bit like a cat. I was going to leave him kind of just there as Loaf art, as in art depicting a loaf, not like a fart near the ground. But then I was like, well, he's in my airspace. You see, and he's fine. You stick a winch on him. Like, congratulations, Loaf. Tyrannosaurus Rex response protocol 1 successful. And then yeah, you see how the crane won't quite go high enough, so I had to wiggle the Loaf. Got to like hoover him up so he drives forward, then drop him back so he can reach. Like wiggle, wiggle, nailed it. That was good. It's good times. Yeah, so now we've got weight distribution Loaf. So what could possibly go wrong? Send him in full speed. I was going to say full speed ahead. Full speed reverse. It's looking good. Dolphin is taking on water, but this dolphin should be fine. And then it just starts tipping. It's like, no! At the last second, the Loaf is hovering. He's literally hovering next to the boat. It's like, right, ready to fire out panic winches, Loaf. 3, 2, 1, go, 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 go. God damn it. Yep. Boat inspection number 2 complete. Alright. I think the problem is I'm flooring it. I'm giving it too much horsepower. That was the problem. Got to ease it off the boat ramp. But then that didn't seem to pay off, because now look at it, it's all on the piss again. Even the low side, I'm not drowning the third time. I'm just going to hover right above the water. But then, oh yeah, I quit and reloaded the game just because I assumed it would be quicker to set everything back up. But it reset the crane again. So low for the second time. I mean, I don't know. I think they just made love. The dolphin's like, whoa. There's a cigarette after that. He's chilling. Like, no game. Wrong loaf. And my loaf just casually drives out the floor. Not a problem. Go and slap a mole around, but we're back. Relax, everyone. I'm good. So, popped him back on the roof. This time, I made the crane a little bit shorter until I get into the water, because I think I'm hitting a rock as I go off the boat ramp. And then it's making me wobble, and because the crane was like so long and sticking out, it was kind of making me boat around and tip off to the side. So, ease my way into the water. Yeah. Extend loaf. Oh, even his shadow. Even his shadow's on the boat now. Could possibly go wrong. Right, so as long as the crane goes, which to be fair, is pretty decent. Can't really fault it. What am I doing? Why did I just randomly stare for 10 seconds? I don't know. I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming of what's about to happen. Yep, floor it. Come on. Dolphin stalled. Switch to the loaf. Yes. That's right, victory horn achieved. Loaf got himself a boat. It's a maritime loaf now. So yeah, checking it out, it's like, well, there is room for more loaves. In case he needs to throw a loaf party, he's got it covered. I don't know what the hell I just did to my knee. It's not good. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that. It took a while. The game did troll me a few times, but we are getting on that boat. So yeah, there's no particular reason, but as a moral boost, it's good. If my loaf wants to get on the boat, he's getting on the boat. I knew it was just a matter of figuring it out. And then yeah, I thought I'll send Kenworth in to pull the dolphin out, just to see how that would go, to be honest, if it could, or what was going on. And yeah, to be fair, it did alright. I actually pulled it out of here twice. One time I did it in the low gear, and this time it's in the auto. There wasn't a hell of a lot in it. I'll say the low gear did what it was supposed to, though. I just think in the end this was slightly cleaner footage, where I wasn't really flinging the camera around as much. Yeah, just towed it out to here, spawned a trailer and fixed it up. And yeah, that was about it. I was trying to decide, do I want a mountain in the background or a waterfall? It's pretty tough decisions. It's not easy. Why now? It's one of my exes said I struggled to commit. What's she talking about? I was like, sod it. Hit the horn loaf. We're done. Yeah, that's about it for today though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helps. I'll be back soon.